it's Omicron. Falcon hates puns and thinks that they're all wrong. One's American and one is an Aussie. Talking about StarCraft 2 and the esports scene.
Well, hello there. Happy podcast day.
Is this a special podcast day or just like because the international one just went, so I know it's not that.
Yes, it is just a regular podcast day.
Okay, I thought I'd missed an anniversary. No.
Nah.
Okay.
So it snowed here over the weekend, and it's not even Halloween yet, and I prefer it doesn't snow until after Thanksgiving, which is the fourth Thursday in November here in the United States. The Canadian Thanksgiving is in October, but anyway, it didn't snow in the lower part of the valley, but my house is just a little bit higher in elevation than that, so when it rains down there, sometimes we get snow a little bit up here, so it melted off in the morning, and the kids were very disappointed because they wanted to build a snowman, but there wasn't enough for that, and they will have plenty of snow this winter. I am sure of it.
Yes. It's all that global cooling that's going on.
Yeah, that's how that works.
Yeah.
Actually, not to get in it too much here, but man, it just, I don't have a super strong opinion on climate change, but it just bothers me that every single piece of weather that happens is attributable to CO2 now. If it's too cold, CO2. Too hot, CO2. More tornadoes, CO2. Less tornadoes, CO2. Like, how? How is it all climate change? We can't do it this way. It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, I mean...
That's all. It just bothers me.
Okay. Yeah.
Like I said, I don't want to get too far into it. That's just one thing that just bugs me every time.
Sure.
Yeah. So anyway, how was your weekend? Is it warming up for you?
It is. Yes. It is warming up.
Can you ride upon your motorbike without a jacket?
I could. I wouldn't, but I could.
Well, for safety reasons,
Right.
But for temperature reasons, it's totally
yes,
fine.
for temperature reason, it is certainly unzipped slightly further.
Excellent. That's good to hear. I'm very jealous. I wish it was getting warmer here, but, you know, seasons are seasons. I guess I could live somewhere where it never really changes weather, which those places exist.
Out.
Maybe one day I will, but...
Out California way.
Yeah, California way. Also, I mean, I don't know, near the equator, it's just hot all the time.
Call it the equator, like
What a-
it's email. There was equator, and this is the equator, not the equator.
Well, now that I think about it, I've heard both.
Really?
Equator and equator. There's not really a huge difference.
I've never heard it as the equator.
True fact. I bet you haven't. It might just be a weird American thing. We do that sometimes, you know.
Right.
Yeah. But, like, there's Puerto Rico, there's the Bahamas, there's, I mean, pretty much anywhere across the Sahara Desert part of Africa is just going to be pretty much hot all the time. So there's lots of places on Earth you can live where it's just warm all the time.
Sure.
But, I mean, the special thing about places like the Bahamas and like San Diego, California, is it's always kind of moderate all the time. It's never like blazing hot, you wish you were dead. Whereas a lot of places along the equator are super blazing hot all the time, which is not very fun. I don't know. Like, I like the changes of the seasons. I appreciate them. I hate the cold. I don't know. I guess I kind of wish I lived somewhere where the winter was like a month. Because there's about a month where I just get sick of it, but then I have another 2 to go, and it's a bad thing. So we get winter for a month, and then we get spring for a while, then summer's maybe a month, and then fall's like a while.
What that tells me is you need to just plan your holidays to be in winter where you travel to somewhere else,
Yeah.
right? Just somewhere warmer. And then when you get back, you'll have like another like 2 or 3 weeks of being like, okay, I'm fine with this. And then you'll only hate it for like 1 month.
That's actually a good idea. I mean, my company is pretty generous with vacation time, and I've been there for, it's coming up 7 years now, so they actually increase your vacation time every year with the company. So I could probably do that, actually. Could do like a warm break in the wintertime, and then in the summertime take like a cooler break somewhere else.
Sure. Yep.
Head north, go to Alaska or something.
Sure. There's stuff to do in Alaska.
Yeah, there is.
Yeah.
I mean, you can like whale watch, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
You can snowmobile.
Uh-huh.
You can golf there in the summertime. There's golf courses.
Uh-huh. Okay.
Was that you where we did the thing about golf courses in Alaska?
No.
Or was that somebody
I
else?
don't think that was me.
Because, okay, so I linked to somebody else about the story about Finland giving Cyril his own, like, basically big old parcel of land that includes a golf course.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, dang, Finland is nice. They have golf courses up there. That's not like... And they're on the same latitude as basically Alaska in some places. Huh. Alaska doesn't have those. And then whoever I was talking to linked me to, like, 18 different golf courses that Alaska has that look exactly like the one in Finland. And I was like, huh. My understanding of this state is entirely erroneous, apparently. I just figured it was snow-locked all the time. Not the case.
Okay.
So to all of our many listeners in Alaska, I apologize profusely. Do we have any listeners in Alaska? Can you
I was
tell?
just about to go and look that up.
Oh, good. Yeah.
I mean-
The population of Alaska is not very big.
That doesn't.
I'm going to Google that real quick while we're doing this. It's 700,000 people, which, woo! It has more people than Wyoming, but not by a lot. Wyoming is by far the least populated state in the States.
Okay, so we have United States, where most of our hits come from.
What percent? Do you have a percent there?
Yes.
I actually looked it up today, and like 31% of my views are from the United States for YouTube. I was surprised. I thought it was higher than that.
Okay, it's only showing me in the last 30 days, so I need to change that. Give me a minute.
I mean, last 30 days is probably okay for a good snippet, right?
Yeah,
It's representative.
sure, but if I just click a bunch of times really fast right now, and then click that
Oh.
button, I now have all the data,
Great. Sounds
which
good.
is 63.8%
What are we looking at?
is United States.
Gotcha.
63%.
Okay.
Coming in at first is Utah
Makes sense.
with
Wait, really?
yeah,
Huh.
with more than double second place, which is California,
Wow.
by the way.
Okay, that's crazy. California's population is like 1,000 times bigger than Utah's. Huh.
Well,
All right.
I guess it's the home state rep going on.
It is, but like I don't know how many people know that I'm actually in Utah. There was somebody there the other day who was like, "I've been watching you for 2 years. I did not know that you were in Utah until today."
Right, but I think
I don't really make a point of talking about it, I guess.
maybe not, but the podcast is probably where more people would. I had to guess.
Would what?
Would know that you're in Utah. Like, I think it comes up way more often than your cast.
That's true. I talk about how much I love the jazz and stuff like that. That makes sense.
Right.
All right.
Yeah.
Right.
Also, Alaska, 3.
3 people?
Compared to Utah's 672.
Yeah, all right. That's a small number for Alaska, but I'm surprised it's bigger than 0. Represent Alaska. Send me an email. Tell me where you are in Alaska and if there's a golf course near your house.
This is interesting. So, most of the people are in Salt Lake. Go figure.
Mm-hmm.
But
like-
you get...
Most of the population of the state is in there, but go ahead.
Right. But you get up north, you get some people in Roy and Ogden.
In Roy?
Yeah.
Holy crap. Like, Ogden's a decent-sized city, but Roy has 30,000 people that live there. This is teeny. Huh.
Clearview, Kaysville,
Kaysville.
Bountiful. It's a weird name. Wow, North Salt Lake. West Salt Lake. It really divides them down. Park City, Sandy, Draper, and even as low as Springville.
Dang.
I guess that sure puts them on the map.
Sure does. Springville. Let's see. Do we take a guess? Is Springville bigger or smaller than Roy?
In terms of listeners or in city
Population.
size?
Yeah.
Okay.
About the same. 30,000 for each. So, all right. Makes sense.
Okay. Pleasant Grove, American Fork,
Yes. I've been to all of these places.
Orem?
Yeah.
How would you say
Orem,
that?
Provo.
5 in
Nephi?
Provo. Well, they're not labeled. I have to mouse over them. So if and there's a bunch that like
south of
sit on
Provo.
each other. Oh no, there's nothing south of Provo
There's
except for
nothing
Springfield.
south of Provo. Interesting. Okay.
Yep.
Huh. Well, yeah. I mean, the vast majority of Utah's population exists between Provo and Ogden. So it makes sense. It makes sense the viewers would be from that area because that's just where everybody is.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Somebody asked me on Twitter today, actually, because I was doing some analytics for the YouTube channel, and I realized I mean, I knew this generally for the channel overall. My most watched videos are definitely Brood War.
Mm-hmm.
Like by a large majority, but I was looking at the last 30 days, and the top 10 videos that have made me the most money, 8 of the 10 are Brood War casts, and then one of them is Cheese Compilation, and one of them is a best of 5 that I posted for StarCraft 2.
Right.
Yeah. So it's basically, man, Brood War is keeping this channel afloat. Which, I don't know, I guess I always kind of knew. I keep track of what view counts stuff gets, as long as it's like, you know, for the first week it's out, I'll check.
Mm-hmm.
But then I just have some take off on me. Like, last time I see it, it'll be, I don't know, 6,000 views. It's nothing crazy. And then somebody will make a comment on a video a month later, and I'll look at it, and it's like at 30,000. I'm like, what happened? How did it get that many more views after the first week that it was published? And I don't know. I think a lot of people are just going to YouTube and looking for Brood War casts. And, I mean, the good thing about it is there's no balance patches, so you can pull it up, and it's the meta that you know, and it's the units that you know, and nothing is different, and everything is relevant and current for today. So
I mean, that can be good and bad.
Yes.
It's like, okay, but nothing will ever change.
Correct. So you have a lot of people
Right.
who are like, Brood War is the same thing it's always been, I'm out.
Mm-hmm.
But apparently there are a lot of people who are like, I love Brood War just the way it is. I'm so glad it's never changing. Let's just watch everything that comes out. So it's split.
It's fair.
But
Yeah.
somebody asked if most of my views came from the U.S. And actually 33% come from the U.S., which I was surprised by. Last I checked, it was higher than that.
Is that a majority?
No, it's definitely not. 30% is not a majority, but it's the biggest share of any country.
Well, that's what I meant. It's the biggest
Oh,
stakeholder.
for sure.
Yeah. It's the
And-
majority stakeholder.
Yes. Number 2 is Canada at 6%. So I have a ton of countries out there that are just like 1 point something percent. It's insane. Like it goes down, let's see, the top 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Like top 12 are 2% or higher.
Mm.
And then the next like 80 are all some form of 1% or lower than 1%. It's nuts. But it all adds
Right,
up.
Yeah. Yeah, like for this, top location United States is 63.8%.
Yes.
Australia fits in at number 2 with 9.7.
Makes sense.
Right. Then Canada at 5.64. And then you drop a couple and you get China is the last one at 1.13, free Hong Kong. And then Ireland is less than 1%. It just keeps going.
Huh. And then, yeah, it's just down all the way.
Yeah. Down
I
to it,
don't-
you're getting like 10 visits from Denmark. Thank you, anyone from Denmark.
Yeah. Thanks, everybody in Denmark. Appreciate the
Ooh.
support.
Do you want to try and pronounce some of these city names, where they're from?
In Denmark? No.
Yeah, I'm going to make you.
Scandinavian.
I just sent them to you in Discord.
All
Go on,
right.
have fun.
Ooh, this reminds me of Thor. Midgard. Mjolnir. Hovstaden. I think I nailed that one.
That one's probably the easiest. Maybe
sure is.
Denmark.
That's a letter I don't recognize. Sjaland. Is that a sound? I don't even know. Denmark. That might be easier than Hosvaldsteden. That's hard to say.
Yeah.
And then
Midtjylland.
Mitt. Wow. Midtjylland. Midtjylland?
Midtjylland.
Sure, why not?
That's definitely a real place.
100%. Without question. The realest place.
Yes.
Yeah. So anyway, thanks for everyone who's listening. You can also support the podcast on the Patreon. We also have a merch store if you want to check that out too. Link in the show notes.
Oh man. So ongoing stories with the merch store, which is you've had so like the Who Called in the Fleet for the Swarm and My Life for Aya t-shirts that you've always wanted to get back.
Yes.
And I noticed that the one of the people we work with for the merch store has their own designers, and they're like, send us an email and we'll get back to you with a quote for what you want done. I'm like, hey, I need these remade so they
Yeah.
can be used for printing.
Yeah.
And they're like, so I sent them to them. And they were like, they contain Blizzard logos and trademark symbols. We will not work with them.
Wait, there are?
Yeah, it's the Terran logo, the Zerg logo, and the Protoss logo.
Oh, right. Well, can we take those out?
I mean, we could, but then we just have words. And we don't really like. We can start from scratch. We can probably find something cheaper.
At that point, yeah, you're
Yeah.
right. Garbage. All right, well, at least it's a step.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Well, those were good sellers on the old store, relatively speaking. So, yeah. If you don't know what we're talking about, I guess we could put images in the show notes, but really cool designs made by. So this is a weird story. This guy contacts me out of nowhere and is like, "I love your casts. I want to do T-shirts. I'll make the designs and I'll sell them and I'll just give you a cut." And I'm like, "That sounds fantastic. Why don't you do that?" So he does, and those are his designs, and I think they're fantastic. I like them a lot. Again, I don't know if they were his or if he contracted out, but either way, the results were fantastic. And so, yeah. So then he's sending me checks every month for whatever and showing me invoices for how many shirts were actually bought per month and which ones were most popular. And I did a shirt giveaway at like the 10,000 subscriber mark, which, boy, is that a long time ago. And that was part of it. Like, I just totally covered shirts for 10 people, and he sent those out, and somebody wanted one from like Mongolia, and he's like, "I don't think I can ship to Mongolia." So it was great. And then he dropped off the face of the earth. Like, he just stopped emailing me. He stopped responding to my emails, and I was like, guy, what happened? So bottom line, he eventually he just sent me a final invoice with a final payment and was like, done. And then his store closed. I was like, okay, so it sounds like you're kind of struggling to make this thing work and maybe something bad happened. And in the end, you had to close your store. And I'm really sad about that. But like, how hard would it be to just send me an email and be like, "Hey man, stuff's happening. I'm sorry." That never happened. So I don't know. I hope the guy's okay.
The most interesting part about that story, or at least the most amazing part, is that there were checks to be cut every month.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah. It's like not seeing that action on our store.
We are not. I'm going to be honest with you. I think part of it is the Australian dollar prices. People are like, "Ooh, it's a little steeper than we're used to."
Right, but I mean, it does say that on there, and they, like, I think there's a way I can change it. It's just a hassle.
Oh,
No, that's
maybe
all.
we should try that. I don't know.
Maybe. don't know,
Maybe.
The prices are in Australian dollars. It'll be cheaper when it comes out of your bank. Look at it like that.
Yeah. I mean, is there a way we could put that on the front page? Like, don't be scared away. It will be cheaper when you
does say
pay
that
it
on
with
it.
your bank money.
Well, it says sorry on the
Yeah.
page, to be honest.
It does.
What was I going to say? There was something. Nope, it's gone.
Bye.
By thoughts, never to be thought again.
Never to be thought again. Until you're in the shower 2 days from now.
Mm-hmm.
In other news, I have been watching Goblin Slayer.
Ah, yes.
Which,
How are you liking it?
hot diggity. I like it so much.
It's really good, isn't it?
Good recommendation. I enjoy it. It is brutal. Like, it is definitely not for kids in any sense.
Mm-hmm.
So keep that in mind. If you want to check it out, like, don't watch it with your kids. It's actually the first anime I've watched that's like, this might be too intense for you. Like, maybe don't watch this. So keep that in mind. But it's really good. And we're talking about this on Twitch the other day with Somicron, but I kind of draw some parallels between Saitama and Goblin Slayer. Again, it's not a perfect comparison. As Somicron pointed out, Saitama is the hero for fun, whereas Goblin Slayer is definitely doing it out of a sense of revenge and weird sociopathic obsession.
Mm-hmm.
So they're different that way. But just in the sense that they kind of suck with people. Their people skills aren't that good. A major difference is that Saitama is unstoppable and Goblin Slayer is definitely very stoppable. So that's a big thing. But just kind of the single-mindedness in which they're pursuing goals. And I don't know. I mean, Saitama is willing to deal with a threat, even if it's not necessarily something that he would seek out on his own.
Right. I don't think he's very single-minded in his goals.
Saitama?
Yeah, like, we're constantly seeing him just, like, laze around binge-watching DVDs. Right.
That's
if
fair.
he was, like, if his heroing job, which wasn't just for fun, was actually if he was single-minded in it, it wouldn't be for fun, right? He would be actively looking for someone that can challenge him, which he's not.
He's
he just
not.
wants it to happen.
He's true, but when something shows up, he deals with it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but yeah, okay.
I don't know. I see some similarities. It's obviously, like I said, not a one-to-one comparison in a lot of ways, but anywho, like it a lot. I mean, I've said this before, but I really like shows that are willing to kill characters. Not many will do that, but without spoiling too much, let's just say Goblin Slayer is absolutely very willing to murder characters that they have introduced you to. So it's good. I'm at the point where they're kind of doing like a multi-part quest to clear out the sewers underneath Watertown.
Yep. Good arc. I enjoy
Really,
it.
really, really good so far. They, I don't know. This is probably a spoiler, but I don't care. So the goblins like lure them into this room in the sewers, and they've got a skeleton hanging from some chains that they've dressed up, and then put human hair on. But it's hanging down, like the head is hanging down, so the hair is long and blonde and kind of covering the face and stuff. So the adventurers totally think it's a person that they've captured because they've seen this before. So they totally get lured in there, and then the goblins shut the door behind them and flood the room with poison gas. And I'm like, all right, these guys are scary now. Like before, they were kind of just like, I don't know, really scary toddlers. And we have met some like bigger goblins and like a hobgoblin or something that's terrifying in its own way and really smart. But this is the first time I've seen goblins being like, okay, something, they need to be taken seriously. Nobody takes them seriously, but they really should be. It's kind of one of the lessons of the show, I think, is that nobody takes goblins as seriously as they should, except for Goblin Slayer.
Yes, and even though they are basically scary toddlers by themselves, that once they're given like direction, they can be pretty menacing.
Exactly. There are a lot of them, and even if they're just in scary toddler mode without really any direction, they can still overwhelm you and murder you, so keep that in mind. Anyway, it's great. Recommended for sure.
Fair enough.
How many episodes are there?
I think it was like a 24 episode season.
Holy crap. Who has 24 episode seasons anymore?
Lots of things.
Fair. Looks like there's 12 on Crunchyroll.
Okay, then it's probably 12.
Okay. Demon Slayer, which I've also been watching, that has a legitimate like 24 episode season, 26 episode season.
Who has 26 episode seasons anymore?
I know. Apparently Demon Slayer does. Nobody else. Like my list on Crunchyroll is Attack on Titan, Mob Psycho, Fire Force, My Hero Academia, Demon Slayer, Goblin Slayer. And then I do need to start Saga of Tanya the Evil that somebody's recommended to me like 8 times.
The what?
It's the Saga of Tanya the Evil?
Never heard of it.
So there's this dude who's random adult male. He doesn't believe in God. And God decides he's going to make him believe in God. So he sends him back in time to World War I and puts him in the body of a 10-year-old girl.
What?
And then puts him on the front lines of the war. It's an insane premise. I haven't watched any of it yet, but we'll see. We'll see if it's good.
Okay.
I like how this has just made Somicron speechless.
Like, there's so much that doesn't make sense. Someone doesn't believe in God, so God says, I'm going to do a thing, and that thing has turned him into, like, a 12-year-old girl and put him in a war.
Yes.
Okay, so shouldn't the fact that there is a God inherently change?
So the guy says, I believe
system?
you're, I don't know, some kind of powerful being, sure, but I don't think you're God. And God's like, oh, yeah?
Couldn't God, like, bestow upon him divine realization?
I don't think so. I don't think God generally works like that. Every version of at least the Christian God that I'm aware of can't force people to believe in him.
No. I'm not saying to, like, enforce belief, but, like, connect him into the divine ecosystem, right? Like, and then when he sees, this guy literally does have a presence in every fiber of every being across the entire universe, it's kind of hard to be like, oh yeah, you're just a powerful being, not, oh, you're a god.
Yeah.
Right? Like, the sheer scale of everything in the universe, like, one, should melt this poor mortal's brain, but two, give him some divine realization.
You'd think so. But no, he doesn't.
Okay, well,
It's like a Loki thing. Feels
Wait,
kind of like a
what?
trickster god thing to do. Yeah?
I mean, yeah, but Loki's, like, mortals called, like, humans called Loki a god. Loki isn't a god.
Yeah.
This thing is a god.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
not-
yeah.
it's
I'm
not
not
Loki.
saying he is Loki. I'm just saying it's a Loki thing to do. That's something Loki would do in that position.
Okay.
That's all.
Yeah, sure.
So there's that. Really, really enjoying Demon Slayer. Just really like the main character. Somebody I can definitely root for. The action is fantastic. The art is beautiful. The storylines are good. The main villain is Michael Jackson.
Okay.
So, I'm gonna send you a thing. So the guy who recommended that I watch it, I got to the episode where we meet the main villain. It's actually fairly early in the show, which is interesting. But here's your thing. So I went into work. Wow, that's a really long link, but I guess it works. I went into work and I was like, why didn't you tell me Michael Jackson is the main villain in Demon Slayer? And he stops and he thinks and goes, holy crap, it is Michael Jackson. So he didn't see it for some reason, but the instant he showed up on screen, I was like, it's Michael Jackson. Why is Michael Jackson the main antagonist in this anime? It makes no sense at all. It still makes no sense at all. I don't know. I need to find an interview with the creator or something and have them explain why they did this.
Okay. Does he dance?
No.
Does he make music?
Nope.
Do, like, 17 lines of cocaine a day?
No. But he stands with the lean. Like, the Michael
Okay.
Jackson lean that he does in his videos or did in his videos sometimes?
Vaguely, yeah. All right.
It's really soft spoken. It's just, there is so much going on here. It's freaky. Makes me laugh.
All right, then.
Yeah. So anyway,
to know.
that's been going on. What else? My Hero Academia is back. You've been watching that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So you're caught up on the second episode.
Yes.
Excellent.
Got up on all of 2 episodes.
I know,
yes.
right? Super caught up.
Yeah. Now for its 1 week hiatus as well.
Is it a hiatus this week?
Yeah,
Oh,
I
yeah,
told you
we
about this
talked
last
about
week.
this. I didn't want to believe it, so I think I forgot.
Fair enough. Sure.
Anyway, it is all right. I mean, I kind of think I watched the show for Midoriya's Progress and didn't really do a lot this episode.
No, well, I mean, this is like the first actual episode back. The one that's not like a, hey, these are the people and there are their things. So this is like the initial setup for stuff to happen.
Fair.
And that thing that might be happening is just like the old god realization of Midoriya's not a funny kid.
He's not, but here's the thing. If you're going to take Midoriya to meet this guy, Night Eye, and you know it's important to make him laugh, tell him maybe 10 seconds before you go in the room. How about that, Mirio?
Well, I mean, maybe Mario thinks that a good hero can adapt on his feet, and especially doesn't want Midoriya to overthink trying to make someone funny, because there's nothing that'll kill a joke faster than overthinking it.
Okay, well, he couldn't have failed any harder than he did. So the plan they went with was not a good plan. That's all I'm saying. I don't know.
I mean,
Do you trust Mirio?
I don't trust his eyes.
Oh, yeah, he does have weird art styles.
His is just the pupil, right?
Yes. And I mean, it would make sense if everybody else was drawn that way, but they're not. It's just him.
Yeah. It's so strange.
So strange. So, I mean, here's my thing. He was going to be the next All Might. All Might took him under his wing. He'd been through a ton of stuff. He's interning with All Might's former sidekick. He's like the best hero in the school. Everybody looks up to him. And then this kid comes along out of Nowheresville and inherits One for All. Like, wouldn't you be pissed? I'd be so mad at this stupid green hair kid who apparently, like, cleaned up a beach one time and now he's the one. Right? I keep expecting Mirio to be super upset about this, but he's totally chill, and I don't know. I don't trust it.
I mean, it just depends on whether or not All Might explained to Mirio that he would be inheriting his power, because it's clearly shown that they still have a working relationship.
Yeah, they do.
Right?
Uh-huh.
And so Mirio could just be looking at it as, oh, here's this other kid that All Might's trying to foster the seed of heroism in. Right?
He doesn't know that he already gave it to him?
He wouldn't know that that's a thing. How would Mirio know that giving One for All is even a possibility?
Oh, that's a fair point.
The reporter was there for 3 seconds and was just like, oh, Midoriya is the next prodigy, like, or the prodigy that All Might's raising. He has no idea that he has his power, right? So the big secret's out there. Like, the idea that a hero would take on an up-and-comer is inherent in their society with sidekicks out of, like, past graduation. Like, that's all that I think that's going on. There's nothing to be pissed about.
Interesting. I hadn't thought about that.
That, and I think All Might, he's not the smartest guy, but he has given it some thought. And if he thought that Mirio was the kind of person who was just, like, that easily pissed off, right? Now that there's someone else that's come along, right, as a teacher, and that he's helping other students, he would have never have even considered selecting him. Right?
Yeah.
Someone who could get mad over the loss of power or knowledge that All Might could possibly give.
Right, and that's the thing. All Might wouldn't choose someone who was that petty in the first place.
Yeah. Yes.
All right, I'm just saying, Mirio's a really, really good dude who also sucks at humor, by the way. At least he recognizes he's bad at it. That's probably good.
Ironically, he has been very funny, though, right? When it's, like, just his face floating through a wall.
Yes, funny. He's not trying to be funny, though.
No.
He has accidental
But it is
humor.
objectively funny.
When he tries being funny, he just can't do it.
Yeah.
It's almost like a quirk. Like accidental humor.
Right. I just have lots of questions about Mirio's quirk. Like,
Okay.
can he see when he uses it? Because light wouldn't pass, like, it would pass right through his eyes.
No, I think
Nothing
they
would
said he's
happen.
blind when he's doing it.
They said he can't breathe when he does it.
They said that.
I don't think they said he's blind.
Well, to the wiki.
The wiki? Not the wiki?
Whatever. I say it both. Abilities. Da, 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 da. His mastery over his near uncontrollable quirk. So that's the thing about Mirio. Is that his quirk is not easy to deal with or to make relevant at all, but he managed to do it by working his butt off. So that's a big deal. Blah, 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 blah. I still don't think he can take down all of Class 1A by himself, but whatever, it's fine. Where is this? He's able to master instant transportation through the repelling property of his quirk. Okay, so while fully intangible, he can no longer see, hear, or breathe, and can only experience a falling sensation because he still has mass. Like, just overcoming the terror of that alone must have taken a while. That sounds scary.
But I mean, they do say that if he, like, sinks into the earth and then, like, lets go of, like, his activation of his quirk, he just flies back up. So it's like, all right, if you did it by accident like 3 or 4 times, you would eventually get to realize that you can't kill yourself this way.
That's true. You'd get there eventually.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, being blind, deaf, and unable to breathe and feeling like you're falling, like, even if you know you can't die, your brain's like, we're going to die.
Oh, yeah. Because it's not like he can hold his breath either. It's like he is instantly oxygen starved.
Yeah. Yeah. God, it sucks.
Yeah.
I appreciate it. It's a good character. It's a good quirk.
The questions I have with it are also like, does he instantly become hungry because his food isn't him? Does it just fall out?
I think that's an unanswerable question, Zamacron. Pretty sure it is.
Sure. I think it's an important question that needs answering.
I think it is. I don't think they'll ever get to it, though.
Oh, no, never.
No.
I think they have some bigger issues to worry about, like that overhaul guy.
Yeah. Yeah, it's good. Bum, bum, ba-dum, bum. I thought the interaction between the Yakuza quirk holders and the League of Villain quirk holders was interesting.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
Like, I think Vulture Face guy had some good points. Like, the League of Villains doesn't really have much direction, and especially now that their leader's in prison, like, what are they going to do? They don't know what they're going to do. They don't have a plan to take over anything.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And they've lost, like, 3 of their members already. I think it would have made sense for there to be an alliance, but the way this dude came at it, it was impossible for anybody to agree with him in that room. And,
right.
Like, he just basically started a fight.
Yeah, he walked in there and basically said, like, submit yourselves to my rule or die.
Yeah. It was a lot more words than that, but yes.
Yes. That was the gist. I was, paraphrasing.
Yeah.
But yeah. Yeah.
So anyway, at the end of the day, he loses one of his dudes, and League of Villains loses one of their dudes, guy who I'm not entirely sure what his quirk was, but he dead now.
Magnet the guy.
Is that Magnet guy?
I don't know if that was his name, but he had magnetic powers. So magnet powers.
What does that mean?
Yeah. He was Magneto.
Like, I'm trying to
Like
search. I don't know what his name is. League of Villains. It's funny because he's on the sidebar on the Boku no Hero Academia fandom wiki. He's super dead now. All right. Let's see if we can get some names.
If you Google MHA magnetic power dude, you get video results for Indian Magnetic Man, who's just the guy who's like standing there shirtless, and he can like put a spoon on his chest and it stays.
It's a pretty good power. It's a decent quirk. Actually, it
Yeah.
sucks.
I mean, yeah, but it's theoretically real.
Yeah. So quirk is magnetism. Actually, this character is a transgender woman. Didn't know that. Proved herself to be very capable, blah, blah, blah. Magnetized people around her within a 45-meter radius. So what was she planning on doing? Like, she jumps at Vulture Guy and is doing what?
I have no clue.
I mean, carried with her what seemed to be a giant magnet wrapped in cloth. So, like, you're going to, like, hit him over the head?
Maybe.
Maybe.
Who knows?
And those bullets that were fired, did they seem to, like, cancel out quirks?
Okay, so here's where a thing that I know that has happened because I have comic book spoilers. I
Okay.
have manga spoilers.
Alright.
And it's like, yes, it did appear that it did appear to cancel out quirks.
Yeah.
I just need to be very careful with how I word things, basically, is what I'm saying.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I think you'd
Because
kill
what's
me
his
if I
face was
gave you-
really freaked out that he couldn't use his birthday party magician powers when he wanted to.
Yes.
Okay.
His Capsule Corp powers. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. That's freaky stuff. I mean, Eraserhead has the same thing going on. And
Eraserhead can just-
temporarily cancel quirks with direct eye contact.
If he can see them, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Which is I don't know if we talked about this on the pod before, but I always wondered why Ms. Joke was into him so much.
Mm-hmm.
And
I mean, why
somebody has the theory that it's because she can't make him laugh. Like, her quirk is she can make anybody laugh, and she can't make him laugh because of his quirk that cancels it out. She finds that interesting.
Nope. That's entirely not how his quirk works. Right?
Aw.
Like if he closes his eye, he can't make people, if he can't see them, he can't turn off their quirk, and he
Yeah.
can only do it willingly as well.
Yeah.
Right?
So he
if
doesn't
he's not
want
looking
to
at
laugh,
her,
so he's intentionally canceling out her quirk.
right? But in the scenes where we see her like making jokes and presumably using her quirk, he's not using his.
Like, there are times he specifically has his eyes closed.
I mean, he's just not always looking at her. Like they sit in the stands next to each other, but he's not looking at her.
That's fair. Maybe she respects it. Maybe she doesn't use her quirk on him sometimes.
Yeah,
I don't know, man.
maybe-
Whatever. You could just be right. She's just into him anyway because she likes weird, depressed guys.
She could still find the challenge of trying to make him laugh without her quirk and with him not using it and like his resistance to it attractive. Like she might like still like that challenge.
Yeah, okay.
I'm not ruling it out. I just don't think his quirk has anything to do with it.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Fair. I like Eraserhead.
Besides, I don't think he's depressing or anything like that. He's just I don't know. He's a very
Stoic?
yeah, I mean stoic, sure. What I was gonna say was well, we'll say if I can think of the fucking thing. He's to the point, right? He's like things
Brusque.
need to be logical, right?
He is, but he also has a freaking sleeping bag. He wraps himself up in during class and like sleeps on the floor.
yeah, because he knows like he might have insomnia, right? Like I'm not,
Sure.
I don't know that.
Could be insomnia.
He could very well just he's practical about it, right? He's just like I can get 5 minutes of sleep right now. I'm going to get them because I know I won't get them later. And he does most of his work as a stealth hero at night. So he needs to find time sleeping during the day while teaching classes.
He does stuff at night. What do you mean?
When they introduce him as a hero, he's like, yeah, he mostly works at night.
Oh.
Like in season 1, when Deku's like, I know everything about every hero that's ever been. He's like, oh, that's Eraserhead. He works at night on stealth operatives by himself and hates the media.
Well, hot dang, I forgot that.
Yeah.
In fairness, it was a while ago.
It was, and you don't remember things from 3 days ago.
Sure
so.
don't. So that no chance. No chance remembering that one.
Yeah. Oh man, speaking of anime, people, you watched an interesting episode of anime the other day.
I sure did.
What was it called? Keijo?
K-
7 exclamation marks?
Keiju. I don't know how to pronounce it, but there's 7 exclamation marks, yes.
Yeah, I think it's Keijo. And you gave it like a 10 out of 10?
I think it was 12. 12 out of 10.
12. It's very up your alley, anime, isn't it?
It was, yes.
Yeah.
Actually,
Yeah.
I didn't mention it as on my queue because I've already watched the whole thing.
Have you now? Okay.
Yeah, Rogue let me down, so I did the thing, and call it was bad. It was so bad.
Yes. And as I maybe thought, it cannot be shown anywhere
Nope.
because Warner Brothers.
Copyright, yes.
Yeah, Warner Brothers Japan copyright. So it is available. Yeah, there's a link in the show notes. You can watch it and get the video for yourself through Dropbox. The thing I did not anticipate was Dropbox has a 2 gigabyte limit, so it actually cost me $18 a month to have that video up because it's 2.5 gigs.
Oh my gosh. How did you end up getting punished for this?
Dedication to the podcast.
Fair. No one can
Yeah.
question your dedication.
So, originally moving forward, I thought I would have you watch different shows, but you enjoyed Keijo so much, I might just make you watch the rest of the season.
That doesn't sound very good. I don't like this plan very much.
Well, you don't really have much of a choice other than to decline the bet, which means I would also never have to sing again.
I mean, in general, we agree to what the terms are as we're setting what the bet is.
It's true.
Right? We've always done
true.
that before. So,
No, we haven't always. The rule is that we always, because we haven't always.
oh, right. So now it is.
So
What
now
I'm
it
saying is I could feel confident enough that I would agree to the anime bet. If I don't feel great about it, then I would say no.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which there is a round of betting that needs to be doing.
There is. We have set the 2019 WCS Global Finals. We have our groups. They're ready to go. Apparently everybody got their visas.
It's good to know.
Yeah. Actually, where is this played?
This is going to be played in Seoul, South Korea at the Africa Cup Studio.
So it says location Anaheim, California, and Seoul, Korea.
Yes. So the group stages are in Seoul. The bracket, like the playoffs, are all in one day at BlizzCon.
Okay. All right. That makes
Which,
sense.
whew, BlizzCon's going to be fantastic. I hope they do open mic questions without
will,
vetting them.
They certainly will not. They will not be doing any of that, even with vetting. Like, how are they going to prevent somebody from asking about Hong Kong? Honestly.
They literally
Pinky,
can't.
Pinky swear you're not going to ask about Hong Kong. I just have a question about Overwatch. I want to know about Tracer's backstory. Right?
I think they'll have a rule up saying somewhere that is, if you want to ask a question about Hong Kong, you can. You just have to play an hour of Diablo Immortal first.
Postscript. You have a phone, right? That's brutal. I'd actually respect them if they did that. Or just be like, look, you can ask about Hong Kong. We're not going to answer anything. We're going to move on to the next person.
Yeah.
Enjoy.
Yeah, they'll have prepared responses of being like, "We have no comment on this at this time."
Yeah.
Move along.
So anyway,
It'll be
back
boring,
to the groups.
but yeah. Back to the groups. We have four groups.
We do.
Each consisting of 2 foreigners, 2 Koreans.
We do.
Okay.
Yeah,
Do
you
wanna
go first.
You want to run through them? Oh, I'll go first. Well, I did win the right to go first.
You did.
Yeah. So we have Dark, Showtime, Sue, and Special.
I mean, I'm going to say it's brutal, but it's BlizzCon, so they're all pretty brutal.
Yeah.
Some are less
they're all
brutal
pretty
than others.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Whew.
Whew.
So do we run through all the groups and then bet, or bet as we go?
We'll introduce the groups real fast. So Group B
Okay.
is Ye Old Group of Death, Maru, Time, Stats, and Serral. Which, why? I mean, Maru has not been playing up to par in 2019, but he's very capable of winning this group if he's playing at his best. So, I mean, it's... Poor Time. Like, I really
Time.
like Time. I think he's an up-and-coming Terran player for sure. I respect him a lot, but he is not getting out of this group.
Yeah, I don't think so.
No.
Then we have Group C, which is Classic. Thank God he got his visa. Big Gabe, Hero, and Reynor.
Pretty good. Probably the weakest group so far.
WCS champion. Reynor. He's like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I think I definitely agree with like Hero Marine as being like, yeah, maybe the weakest group, but other than that, Classic and Reynor are both very respectable players.
True. I mean, obviously, everybody that's here had a great year. And
Yes.
especially if you came through GSL.
Yes.
So Heroes had a fantastic 2019. I don't know. I don't see Heroes' name and no fear strikes my heart.
Fair.
And then final group D, Trap, E-Laser, Rogue, and Neeb. I'd feel better about this group, except that Rogue fell on his face in the Super Tournament 2 weeks ago.
You don't happen to have a grudge or anything, do you?
Certainly don't. I mean, it's not nothing like your grudge against Maru, but it's getting there. Yeah, so that's good. I mean, Trap, again, fantastic Protoss here for 2019. And Laser, I don't believe in a Laser at all. Neebs had a great year, and Rogues had a great year. Yeah.
Oh, yep.
All right, so how are we doing groups again? I know how we do, like,
Playoffs.
but...
So the way groups work is we're basically betting to see who gets first pick in the playoffs. So it's whoever has the most points by the end, and we can both take the same players. There's no like restrictions on that, but you can also say like if you feel confident in say Group B that Serral will get through and Time won't, you can bet that way. Like you can say Time will not get through. I'm putting a point down on that.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so that's basically it.
Okay. So you go first.
I go first,
All right.
and I'm gonna go out on a limb
Whoa.
and say it's not that big of a limb.
Special.
I'm gonna say Sue will get through, and so will Dark.
Ooh.
Betting on the Zergs to make it through.
Okay.
Team Korea,
Yeah, that seems entirely reasonable.
your turn.
Okay. All right. So in Group B, I just think the smart thing to do here is pick Serral to get through and Time to not get through.
Okay, so you're not making a prediction on Group A at all?
No, I've given up.
Forfeiting 2 points. Okay, confident.
I mean, is it really? Maybe I don't understand how this works. Like me picking in Group A other than Dark and Sue, I just don't see it.
Right, well, you can take them, right? This entire system hinges on the idea that somewhere we differ on something.
Oh,
Right.
okay.
So you can take the same 2 that I did if you just agree with my assessment.
Gotcha. But at some point
that's
we have
fine.
to disagree.
at some point, and if not, we have a contingency in place, which is to say we both can't take Cyril for the playoffs.
Right.
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 So it doesn't matter.
Okay.
If you want to forfeit the 2 points, that's fine.
No, so in that case, I'll agree. Dark and Sue.
All right. And you can go first for Group B.
And then Group B, same thing. Cyril gets through, Time does not.
I will say Cyril and Maru will get through.
Ooh.
Disagreement.
Not believing in stats, I see. Interesting.
You know, if I could pick 3 players out of the 4, I would pick stats.
Mm-hmm. Fair.
Yeah, I'm Raynor Classic. I'm definitely getting through, I think.
I'm with you on that. I don't see Hero Marine or Hero making it out.
Okay. We're going to be very surprised if we're wrong.
Yeah, if Hero Marine makes it out, I do not know what I will do. That's crazy. Crazy to think about. I like Hero Marine, but one of these things is not like the other.
And you get Group D.
And Group D, I'm going to pick Trap to get out. I like Trap's chances a lot. And in this particular group, I'm going to take Rogue.
To win?
To get out.
Through?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Solid choices. I'm actually going to say that Trap and a Laser get through.
What? Crazy person.
Because Alaza did very well at GSL versus the World against these Korean players that he's versing against now. I think he can do it again.
What does very well mean?
He got to the finals.
Yeah.
And then got smacked by Cyril.
Yeah. No shame in that.
No shame in that. But I think he can do it again.
Okay.
Yep. And Rogues clearly can't win anything these days.
Clearly. He is washed up. He is done. That BlizzCon he won
Yeah.
2 years ago? Null and void.
Yeah.
They've taken it away.
Yeah. But here's the thing. So Alaza lost to Cyril at GSL vs. World.
Yes.
But he did beat Neeb, Time, and Doc. So Time and Doc kind of relevant because they're not in this.
Yeah.
But Neeb's here. I think he can beat Neeb.
Yeah.
And if he can beat Neeb, I think he can beat Trap.
Wow. Okay. You think Neeb's playing better than Trap this year?
I have no clue. I don't think neither of them are making any waves. Like they're both they're both there. They're both okay, but
All right.
I don't know.
Alrighty
Sure.
then. Well, we have our guesses. They're down.
They're down.
And when does this whole darn thing start again?
In like 2 days.
24th.
2 days is yes.
Yeah, so-
October 24th.
Okay.
At 2 p.m. Australian.
Definitely going to have to watch this. I don't watch a lot of live StarCraft, partially because I don't have a ton of time. The other part is I like to be surprised by the stuff that I cast. But
Theoretically, these VODs will come out because it's not in a Freaker. It's not GSL. They're just doing it in that studio.
yeah.
So you theoretically can get these VODs.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Just want to make sure it was clear.
I'm going to try to watch it live, too. I think that'll be fun.
I want to watch them live. Whether or not I'll be able to with my sleep schedule.
Yeah.
It's a whole nother thing. So the 24th, 2 p.m. I maybe can. Depends on how late they go, really, is the thing.
Yeah.
It's like, I'll get a couple games in and then I'll have to go to bed.
Right. There's a
That's
whole
probably how
bunch
it
of,
works.
40-minute macro games now.
Yeah, no.
Sweet.
Cool.
All right. We got it down. We're official. Is there anything else we want to
Seems
cover
like-
today? I think we're coming to the end here.
I think we're pretty much at the end. I don't think there's much of anything else. Oh, the In Control commemorative bundle will be out by the time people hear this. It's free in StarCraft 2, so everyone should go get it.
Yeah. I retweeted that. I thought it was cool.
Yes.
A new Star Wars trailer just came out. While we were doing the pod.
Really?
Yup.
Do we watch? No, you won't watch it now anyway, will you?
You know what's interesting? I don't have much interest in this movie, so maybe I will watch the trailer and see if it'll change my mind.
We should do live reactions right now.
Fine. I'll do it right now. Somebody link
Yep.
to the trailer. I'm seeing discussion about it, but somebody link to it on Twitter, you dummies. All right, this will work. I think we're on the same. Here, why don't you send me the link of what you're going to watch? Did you find it?
Sure. I think so.
Okay.
Let me watch it and tell you if it's the right thing.
Okay.
That defeats the purpose. But that is what I've got loaded.
All right. We're going to go 3, 2, 1, click.
Click.
So Ray's doing stuff. Finn's around.
Oh, hey, look, there's Rose.
Oh, crap. Rose is in it. I'm out. The thing about Star Wars is it's always so beautiful. It's always so visually stunning.
Mm-hmm. For sure. Oh. I recognize that voice.
Yeah. I don't know how I feel about that. Ooh, if there's a space battle like the end of Rogue One, I think that'll be enough just for me to love the movie. I'm easily bought with lightsabers and X-Wings. There was not enough of that in The Last Jedi was part of the problem.
Mm-hmm. Definitely a problem.
Yeah. Blah, blah. 3PO and R2-D2 are around. We know. Don't care. The ghost of Leia's around. That's exciting.
I mean, yeah.
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 Lando's here. Knew that. Ooh, got Y-Wings. We had those in Rogue One too, though. A whole butt ton of Star Destroyers. Where did those come from? There's no consistency in these movies anymore. It's like whatever the story needs, that's how many ships there are with any particular group. How many people are on the other side? Whatever we want.
All right. I'm at the end.
Me too. All right.
Yep.
Fine.
Yeah, I don't know. It feels like a bit of backpedaling.
Oh, for sure.
Being like, hey, remember Emperor Palpatine?
Remember Lando? Yeah.
Yeah. Again, I don't think The Last Jedi was the worst movie in the world.
It wasn't.
has problems.
Yes.
Serious problems.
Big problems.
But I think, I see it. We need to do like another look at that movie and just sit down and be like, all right, here's everything that we think's wrong with it. Like a podcaster's commentary, like we used to do.
We did that once. Yep.
Yeah, because I don't think any of the problems with Last Jedi are anything to do with Luke Skywalker. I think everything they did with him was fine, except for maybe drinking the blue milk fresh.
Which was
It's
dumb.
like,
Yeah.
what were you gonna say?
I don't know. I'm just a little bit bothered with his attitude about a lot of things. And the thing is, I've heard
like what?
people like do kind of fan theories as to why he is the way he is. And okay, great. I like a lot of these fan theories, but the movie did no attempts at all to do that. They're just like, Luke's all
right.
pissy about stuff for some reason. It's like, but what? Why?
Right. Okay, so yeah, I definitely think that I have less of a problem with it because I'm the Star Wars fan that thinks about this for 6 months of a year while waiting for the next movie, where it's like I am role playing every possible day that Luke has gone through.
Yes. It's been a very long
like,
time. He's been alone on that island.
Yeah. Yes. So I'm definitely going in with the mindset of like I expect this thing to show me stuff which it's not going to explain.
Yeah.
Right? Because it is the 8th movie in a series.
Gotcha. Yeah. Anyways, my biggest problem with the film is that Rian Johnson came in, took all the storylines that Abrams had set up, because Abrams really good at setting up storylines, and then burned most of them to the ground. He just was like, I don't care. Let's just subvert expectations. We'll do our own thing. Nothing matters from the first film. Thanks for watching. I'm Rian Johnson. Bye. It's like, come on, man. Play the game. And just the fact that nobody higher than him was like, Ryan, please stop burning everything down. Can we follow a couple of these things, please? There's just no direction. And it just feels to me like there are bigger things. There are things that are more important to the people who run Star Wars than Star Wars and story.
Right.
They're going for bigger stuff.
It's the agenda behind the idea.
Yep.
Rather than this like the ideas themselves. It's like the plot about, okay, we only have like enough fuel for one warp jump.
Whatever.
Right? Fine on its own, but a little inconsistent.
Super.
Right.
Super inconsistent, you mean? Mm-hmm.
Well, I don't know. It depends on how much like you want to dig into it. It's like, how many times can an X-Wing make a jump? right? Does it need less fuel because it's got less mass? I don't know.
They've never discussed this
Right.
before. It's never been a concern for anybody.
Well, the fact that it's never been discussed doesn't mean it's never been a concern.
Not in the movies, it
Right.
hasn't.
Well, right, no, not in the movies, but in the universe, right? Like, Admiral Akbar probably had some guy who's them, like, monitoring their fuel reserves, right?
Yeah, but heaven forbid they show that to us at all. Look,
Yeah.
part of the problem here is that Lucas had no interest in actually making the world build consistent. He's like, I have cool ideas. Let's do all this. And they are cool ideas. But he had no concerns for consistency, internal or otherwise, in the Star Wars universe. He signed off on people doing expanded universe stuff to the gills. So all that stuff exists, or existed until Disney bought it and said no. But even the films, there's no consistency in anything. So he left all these doors open, and you can do whatever you want with a lot of it. And that's what they did, but I don't like it. That's all.
Yeah. Which, I don't know, doesn't make it... It's one of those things where it's like, you don't like it, that means you don't like it, and that's fine. That doesn't necessarily strictly make it bad, right? Like, the idea that this spaceship does not have enough fuel is not a bad premise. I'm sure that's come up in The Expanse before, and you love that.
Well, yeah, because The Expanse likes the laws of physics, and Star Wars doesn't.
Right. I'm not comparing the two. I'm just saying
Yeah.
that as an idea is not a bad thing. It's just when it's also entangled with all this other stuff, it becomes just bland. It feels very simple
Yeah.
for the Star Wars
It doesn't
universe.
mix with the magic that Star Wars is involved with, because it is. It's all magic. Everything. There's no attempt to follow any sort of laws of physics at all, period. Which is fine. Again, I'm okay with that. But yeah, like you said, don't bring in weird, mundane laws of physics into my Star Wars film. I'm not going to like it. It doesn't make any sense. And I mean, I like The Force Awakens. It's a retread of New Hope. I get that, but I like it anyway. So this isn't... I wasn't coming from a position where I wasn't prepared to like The Last Jedi. I wanted to like it a lot, and I just don't. So we'll see. We'll see how this one goes. Again, I said this before, but you can buy me with a really nice space battle and a couple lightsaber fights.
Man, I really hope they go to Canto Bight again.
I know, right? We'll spend more time
that's all-
riding horses around and complaining about capitalism.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll be great. So we need more of that.
I think that'll be great. It's just like I'm honest to God surprised there isn't like a can do that. Like just
Don't give them ideas.
Really?
Don't say that. Take that out of the final draft of the pod. Knock it off.
I'll believe it. I'll believe it.
Thank you. The other thing I really want from space battles is Y-Wings to be used properly, because the video games have established that Y-Wings are long-range bombers that from 4
With photon
clicks out
torpedoes.
shoot torpedoes at capital ships to try to take them down.
Yes.
The torpedoes can be shot down. They can be messed with in a lot of ways, but the whole point is you're far away and you're slow, so you've got light fighters covering you. That's how Y-Wings work. So, I loved the space battle in Rogue One, but the fact that these Y-Wings are, like, flying really close to their target and dropping bombs on them made no sense at all, and it bothered me.
No, you didn't like the Last Jedi bombers that have to position themselves directly above the enemy ships and then drop unpropelled orbs on them.
There's no way those don't get shot down from, like, 5 clicks away. They're so slow and so big. They all die before they get that close to the Star Destroyer. That's another point. If you're flying a Y-Wing and you get close enough to engage with the guns of a Star Destroyer, you just die. You're not fast enough to dodge anything. That's all I want. I just want that. I want that version of the Y-Wings and space battles that they had in X-Wing versus TIE Fighter and X-Wing and a TIE Fighter, which are 3 separate games, confusingly. But just do that. That's all I want. I know they really love to introduce new concepts, but you don't have to. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. If it ain't fix it, don't break it.
Yeah, people love that stuff. Nobody has any complaints about space battles in X-Wing versus TIE Fighter. Come on, it's great. It's well designed.
Don't think I played any of those old games.
I know. I'm old. They're old.
The space combat in Battlefront, the original Battlefronts, was pretty good.
How'd they do that?
It's basically what you described.
Okay. See?
Yeah.
Stop messing with it. I am also incredibly concerned that J.J. Abrams is responsible for writing a conclusive ending to a trilogy. I don't trust him at all.
At all?
No, not even a tiny bit. I can't believe they were like, JJ, the guy we hired to set this whole thing up because you're good at doing that. We specifically hired somebody else to do the rest of it because we don't trust you to end story. Who you are the person we're going to end our story because things went poorly in episode 2. Gah. Such a dumb idea. Again, I like JJ. I think he's a great storyteller. He can't conclude things to save his life.
So yeah, I mean, I don't disagree with anything you said. I'm just secretly more optimistic than I'd like to be.
Yeah.
In which Disney explicitly want Star Wars to be in a position where they can keep making movies and he won't have to end everything.
Sure.
Right.
Right. But yeah, I mean, right. Return of the Jedi left some threads open that the expanded universe really developed upon and did a good job with most of the time, by the way. So yeah, this movie doesn't have to conclusively be, and they all lived happily ever after. There can be story afterwards, but we need to conclude some things and conclude them well. And ending is hard. That's the Falcon Paladin favorite thing to say about story is endings are hard. I understand that. And I just can't think of anything J.J. Abrams has been specifically involved with that ended well. That's it.
Fair enough.
He is the king of opening stuff and introducing story and developing storylines, but he can't finish anything to save his life. So yeah, I'll see it. We'll talk about it. Email us your thoughts or tweet at us. We'll put our Twitter handles in the show notes. Or, join the Discord and talk to us there. That's fine too. All right, cool. We went over time, but I think that's all right. Emergency Star Wars discussion was required.
Yes.
Yes. But that's going to be it from us. You got extra time this week. You didn't have to pay for. Congratulations. But thanks for spending that time with us today. This has been Falcon Paladin and Somicron with another edition of the Falcon Paladin Hour. And until next time, as always, thanks for joining us. Thanks for listening. And you take care of yourself.